Boss Fight Gaming. Get ready. Fight!
Hello guys, and welcome back for another video from me, Boss Fight Gaming. Today we're still playing Raji, and we're going for a new achievement, which is to find all the favor orbs in the Haryana Nagari level, which is the Golden City. There is actually a couple other achievements in here which are missable, which I'll also be going through. However, I will also be doing a guide for those separately. But straight off the bat, if you just head up the wall and follow the level around, and we'll go through the level and explain where all these orbs are. If you haven't done the glitch yet to get the 27 orbs in the fortress, I recommend doing that on this level. You can do it at any shrine where you can collect an orb. Just all you need to do is collect an orb, pause the game, go to user preferences, load up the save file and refresh, and basically do that until you have 27 orbs. That way later in the game you won't miss the glitched, the knackered, the bugged achievement is what I was looking for. So yeah, if you just follow the level around and just keep going, you'll come up to these toadstools. You do need to cross those. By doing so, you just pick one up by pressing X, press left trigger to aim, and press X again to throw it. So you just use those to cross over the water and keep following it round. On this level, they aren't necessarily hidden, but you will need the toadstools to get to them, most of the hidden orbs. Keeping in mind, yellow orbs and purple orbs don't count towards our goal, so you don't really need to worry about those. So at this point in the level we are still on 045. So just use the toadstools to get across the water. Just throw them in your path and just make sure that it's good enough for you to jump across. Once you've done that, just follow the level across and climb up this scaffold. I am including the entire level, but I will be cutting out the fight scenes and any puzzle scenes, just so you guys don't have to watch those. You can pause the video that is, and then press play when you catch up. I also cut out some of the elevator traveling time as well, just so you guys don't have to watch me go down the elevator, then have to watch yourself go down the elevator. It's tedious enough. So as you can see, there's a fight scene that I cut out. Just go down the elevator and come straight across to the right and keep following it around to the right, and then go down the other elevator. Once you're to the bottom of the elevator, just head towards the top of the screen and follow it forward. You can just keep going, you don't have to explore like I did. This was my first playthrough, so I was sort of looking everywhere for orbs and things, but I have tried to cut out as much of that as possible. Nice flying peacock goes over, just follow it to the right. Do your little fight scene. Again, if you come up to a fight scene, pause up my video, that way you can just press play whenever you're finished. When you get to the junction here, head to the left. I'm not sure if you can go right as well, or you have to go to the left, but I always went left on all three of my playthroughs. You don't have to come towards the screen here, you can just go up the elevator. Again, this was my first playthrough, so I was exploring a little bit. But if you just go straight up this elevator, and that will take you to the second area, where we will find our first orb. So just keep going straight forward and use the lily pads to cross over this part of the water here. Keeping in mind, the fish, if they get close to the lily pads, will actually take the lily pad away, and you may die and have to start just a little bit further back there. But anyway, once we're across, head straight forward and to the right and use the lily pads to cross over onto the island. Watching out for the fish. It can be a little bit tricky to pick up the toadstools, I don't know why, but you start firing arrows instead of picking them up, which is a little bit annoying sometimes. Just line up these two as perfectly straight as possible. Be careful on this part because you can accidentally kill yourself if you pick too many. Just make sure that you don't jump until there's a lily pad to jump on. There's no point in trying to rush because you'll probably end up doing it more than once, and then technically you did it slower than you would have done if you just was patient in the first place. Anyway, so this is where we got our first one. Head down the steps and throw a lily pad into the water and just follow the jumps around, and we will come up to our first orb of this level. Keeping in mind that if you haven't done the 27 orb glitch, then I would recommend doing it there. That way, by the time you get to Shiva's gift, you will have your 27 for your bugged achievement. So keep that in mind. Once you've got that, just head back to where you came down. Once you get back to the top of the steps, you can head off to the right. And then you come to a puzzle. Again, I'm just going to skip through that. If you are struggling, I would recommend working on the outside and working your way in. That is the easiest way to do it. If you try to work from the inside out, it can be a little bit more tricky. And then once you've finished that, head up the steps and to the left, get through that fight, and then you will come to a running panel where you have to run across the wall, and you have to jump over, jump down, jump across, head up, and on this part we run to the left, then stop, then run to the right and jump up. This will lead us to our second orb. There is a purple and yellow orb here as well. Remembering the purple heals you, the yellow orb gives you a special attack to use, and your white orb is your collectible, which also allows you to level up your character. Keeping in mind that if you go to your character abilities screen, you will have loads of white orbs. On my screen, this is my first playthrough clip, so it doesn't show them all. So if yours looks different, it's just because you should have more than me. Once you've got that, you can head back the way you came, jumping across and heading off to the left. Don't know why I did that. You don't need to do that. Head over to the left and just keep heading this way. Once you get to this point, you don't need to head towards the screen, just keep going to the left. There's a fight scene there, so if you want to pause the video. Once you're through the fight scene, head towards the screen. Again, another fight scene coming up. Pause the video there, and then play whenever you're ready. There's a lot of fight scenes on this level, as well as tricky jumps and stuff. Again, once you get around to the grassy area, there's a yellow orb, which again is a special attack, which is your right trigger attack. It is sometimes weird saving those for the bosses. Once you've got through the fight scene, you can climb up the little area where the wood is. There's nothing hidden around here, so just keep following it through. Go to the left, not the right. There's a fight scene, so if you want to kill these guys, just go through these guys, kill those, and then once those are dead, head to the left and climb up. You don't need to head all the way to the left like I did, or waste your special attack. I have no idea why I did that. Again, this was my first playthrough. You don't need to come over here, guys. You can just climb up the middle. I thought I'd cut this out. My apologies. So just go up there. Head to the left, not the right. Left, that's it. Keep going around and climb up. And then climb up again. And again and again and again. You don't need to go to the right anywhere here. Just keep climbing up. Oh, carefully don't fall off. When you get to the top, you don't have to talk to the guy that's dead on the floor. You can just keep going, but I did on the first playthrough, but I did skip the video for you. As you come across here, there is a couple of orbs to collect. There is the yellow orb. Again, that's not necessary for the achievement, but if you want to collect that as a special attack, it may help you. The orbs do go to your feet. Now there's a missable achievement here, guys, for the murals. You know the drill by now. If you press X on the mural, wait for the dialogue to finish and the glyph to reappear on the floor, and once you collect them all, they're all in this same place, you can't miss them, you will get the next achievement. This is the achievement known as the Legend of Garuda. Again, all you need to do, press X on the glyph on the floor, wait just a little while until the dialogue is finished and the glyph reappears on the floor, and then just move on to the next one. Repeat the same process over and over on, I believe there's 4. Once you've done all 4, maybe 5, I'm sure there's 4 though, just in case, you will get your achievement, which again is to the Legend of Garuda. This is a missable achievement. Just like in the last level though, I'm doing the orb achievement first because you do have to actually collect some orbs before you get to the glyphs. So I will be doing it in that order, and that is the only reason why. So I did go back and check. There is 5 in total there, not 4. So just make sure that you've done them all. As I mentioned, they're all in the same place. You can't really miss it. Stand, listen, wait for the glyph, and you should get your achievement. Once you've done that, follow the path up to the right and around to the right, and then head over here. Once you get to this area, you do need to just head up the elevator. You don't need to look around like I did. So just come over here and head up the elevator. And then once you get to the top of the elevator, you do have this puzzle. Now, I did speed up the puzzle. I thought you guys might need help a little bit here. It is pretty simple, but I have left the video in there, but I've just sped it up ×3, just in case you guys did want to look over it and see how it's done. If not, you can just pause the video and do it yourself. Once it's done, you need to move over to the next part of the mission, which is the elevator in the middle, and go down. So go down the elevator and then follow it around to the right. That is area 1 done. So now we need to go and do the other area. So we head off to the right over here and keep following it around. And then we're going to head up the elevator, down the elevator on this side. And once we're in this area, we're pretty much going to do the same. Just follow it around using the toadstools to cross the water. Remembering trying to line them up as best we can and to avoid any fishes that might destroy them. So yeah, again, toadstool over here, use it to get across to the island, and use the toadstools next to the island, and use I'm calling them toadstools. They might not even be called toadstools, but you get the point. Use those to cross over. Wait till you get to the top and you do have a little tree puzzle. Again, I'm just going to cut that out. It's pretty straightforward. You guys should be able to do that pretty easy. There is a video there if you want to pause my video so you can watch that. That's absolutely fine. Then play whenever you're ready. Once that bit's done, it will go back to this screen where the big tree's back to normal and you're in the middle. You just need to head over to the left and follow it around. Go down the steps over here and then use the lily pads and use them to get over the water. Again, keep an eye out for fish because they will destroy lily pads. When you get to the top of here, there is a yellow and a purple orb in amongst these sort of shrines, which you can collect if you feel that they will help you. However, it's not completely necessary. You can just head straight to the bottom in the middle and just head towards the screen, which is down here. There is a fight scene that takes place. Once you've done that, head towards the screen at the bottom and cross over the water with a lily pad. So you will end up in a sort of fight area, square fighting area with a special in the middle. Once you've done that, you don't forget to pick up your specials always when you can. Collect as many of those orbs as possible. Head to the left over here and again use these collectible lilies to get over this area here. Keeping an eye out for fish. You probably do it a lot neater than me, but just use the lily pads to help you get across the water. Remembering it's always probably best just to wait for the lily pads to finish settling in the water before jumping on them, as sometimes you throw them in, they don't actually stay, they disappear. So keeping that in mind when you're doing it. Okay, so we are coming up to our next orb. If you climb up here in the middle and then jump to the right instead of following it around, so jump to the right and climb up. Move to the right, then jump to the left, like so, pressing A to run up the wall. And then jumping over here by pressing A and A. And then just follow it over and pick up the next orb. Once you've collected the orb, you can upgrade your weapons, don't forget. You haven't got to wait for me to tell you that. You can upgrade any of your weapons and any elements at any point. So feel free to do that. Follow it towards the screen and head up to the puzzle area. Again, I am going to fast forward this little bit just so it's at a high speed. But if you do need to know how to do it, just follow what happens on the screen. And it's pretty, like I said, it's pretty straightforward. The cogs can be a little bit tricky to go into place, but apart from that, it's really basic, really. So once that's done, that's our pathway cleared, and area 1 and 2 done. So we just need to come back towards the screen and head down the elevator when we're ready. And this will take us back to the middle. So follow it around to the left, and we cross over the path which was blocked previously, and head up up to the next area. Once you get to the top here, this is the next achievement. Again, this is a missable achievement, but because the orbs were before this point, this video will come after, even though technically you will be getting this achievement before you get the orb achievement. Again, a little bit complicated, but I think it's best that we did it this way around. You come over here and you get the unmissable achievement by collecting the sword and shield. That is an unmissable achievement, so I won't be doing a guide on that. It will be in my walkthrough guide, but it won't be on any other guide apart from obviously this one. Once you've collected that, we need to activate all these mural shrines on the floor to get our missable achievement. So head over to the left and press on our first one and press X on there. And again, you know what to do here. Press X to listen. Wait for the glyph to reappear on the floor before moving to the next one. I have sped up the video a little bit here. But you get the point, guys. Start on the left, work your way around, pressing X in every single one until the video is the dialogue is finished talking and the glyph on the floor has reappeared. There is 10 in total. There is 4 in the middle here and 3 on the left and 3 on the right, so 10 in total. And again, once you've listened to them all and the glyph has reappeared underneath them all, you will get your next achievement. It's pretty straightforward. Most people will naturally not miss these anyway, but a lot of people, myself included, in most games will skip dialogue if it's not really something I'm interested in listening to. So once you've got that, as mentioned, you would have got your missable achievement and the unmissable achievement. The unmissable achievement was collecting the sword and the shield, and the missable achievement was to listen to the Avatar story, which the achievement was called The Avatars of Vishnu. So you should have those, which means you can now move on to the next area. There's a fight scene over to the right and then a fight scene just up ahead, training to use the sword and shield, that is. If you are going to add attributes to your weapons, I would recommend the electric for your spear and electric for also your crossbow, your bow. But for the sword and the shield, I would recommend either ice or fire, but it's totally your discretion, whatever you feel is best suited to your sort of playthrough, your sort of play style. Again, as you can see in this part, I don't throw it just yet because I did see the fish was right underneath. I didn't fancy getting myself killed. Once the fish is swam along, you can then chuck them in and move forward. Going through the puzzle again, try and start on the outside, work your way in, then head off to the left, collecting your special attack if you need it, and then climbing up onto the scaffolding and making your way around. Once you're up here, just jump across, trying to grab, make sure that you grab on, and just head forward. Pretty straightforward area, and just keep following it forward. This little bit here has a fight scene in. I would recommend switching between your sword and shield and your bow for distance if necessary, but again, it's whatever you feel best suited to you. Once you get to the top, just keep following it around to the right, and there's another fight scene, and then follow it around to the right and slide down the flag and head forward towards the screen. You don't need to come down here, just head up on your screen, and I believe the peacock flies over again. Could be wrong. There's a little bit of a dialogue.
You will go further than this and see many more wonders before your time is done. I have
Once the dialogue's finished, you can just carry on.
Indeed, this place is beautiful, but at its heart,
So the dialogue goes on for just a little bit. Once that's done, head over to the right, and there will be a short movie clip. Again, I'm going to skip it. You can pause the game if you pause the video if you wish to hear that. Once you've listened to that, you will spawn back in this area, and you will need to use the lily pads. Now this area gets a little bit tricky to get the next white orb. Chuck your lily pad there, and then on this next one you need to chuck it as close to the other side as possible, because you jump far, and if you don't you will land in the water. So as close to the water as you can, jump over onto it, and then head up here to collect your next orb. And there's the next orb. Again, you can upgrade your weapons and abilities if you feel necessary. You should have complete full white orbs everywhere on your ability screen, unlike myself, because this is my first playthrough and I didn't do the glitch on the first time playing through, and I didn't get the achievement, which you guys will get thanks to that glitch. So once you've collected that, we do need to head back this way. This bit can be a little bit tricky because there's usually 3 or 4 fish maybe around. Throw one close to yourself, then you need to throw the next one quite close to that wood so that you can actually use that to jump from onto the wood and run up. So as straight as possible in line with that wood, move to the left of it, and then jump up and press A to climb the wood, and then you should be happily able to go on your way. If for any reason you did die there, it does actually still count that you collected the orb, so you don't need to go back over there. Just move on. As long as you collected it once, you should be fine. Once you jumped over here, you do need to keep heading to the left and using the lily pads to get over to this next part. Again, you can just use one in the middle. In fact, you need to use one in the middle because if you collect another one, it disappears. But once you're over here, we do need to go over to this next special area, collect a lily pad from here and chuck it pretty close to yourself, just enough to get onto it. Go back around, collect another, and then jump back onto the lily pad. Use this one quite close to the lily pads in the middle of the water because you will need to collect the next one from there. So run and jump, collect one from there and chuck one in the water here, and then jump over. Now I would collect one of these here. The reason being is this next jump can be a little bit fiddly and you can end up in the water quite a lot. So just chuck one at the bottom there next to the piece of wood just in case you fall. Most of the time you'll probably just jump straight away like that, pretty easy, but sometimes you may fall in the water and it just saves you having to do the area again. Once you're up here, you will just head across and you will get the next orb. Once you got that orb, you will get your achievement, and that is the final orb for this level. So I'll just say thanks for watching again, guys. If you do have any questions or anything, please put them in the comments. We're very grateful for all your support, and there will be a guide on both the achievements that we've already got in this. If not, you can skip those if you've already got them, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care and thanks for watching.
Boss fight gaming. You lose. Game over.